Good morning, world. Happy Wednesday. As you can probably tell from the title, I'm not having the world's best week. I don't know. I gotta vetch about this, though, because it's sitting on my soul, and maybe I probably should put it in a journal, but I'm gonna be tactful, I think. And if current coworkers are watching this channel, well, you know I'm vetching. Anyway, just for the record, before we get too far going, those of you that are watching for actual off-roadiness, we are driving in two-wheel drive today, not four-wheel drive. And we're coming back home from the store, and we're doing perfectly fine. Anyway, regarding the title of this video, we haven't had anyone apply for promotion in 5 years because we haven't hired anyone after me that has stayed. So I applied for promotion this year, and I don't know. Apparently, we've all forgotten how to do it. I was on 2 promotion committees in the last 10 years, and I'm just like, this is not supposed to be this difficult, guys. Like, you ask for volunteers, and then you have a meeting, and you... Anyway. So, what's happened that has, like, mucked this up is my promotion, of course. I don't know. I'm trying to, like, oscillate between am I flattered by this, or am I, like... trying not to be paranoid. So, anyway, they did the call for volunteers, and people volunteered. And actually what happened was more people volunteered than usually happens. Normally it's, you know, not it sort of a game. And I guess the theory was it would either be easy, or some people maybe wanted to have my back because they were worried that other people wouldn't have my back. Either that or I've been butting heads and some people wanted to express a contrary opinion about my behavior. I don't know. See, that's the problem. That's where I oscillate between being paranoid and being like, oh, this is flattering. Like, 6 of you want to review me, and we're... Because I distinctly remember when they formed my tenure committee, like, the 3rd person who was on my tenure committee was outside my door. I was like, well, nobody else wanted to do it. And I'm like, oh, that makes me feel flattered. And it's like, no. It wasn't to do with you. It's just nobody knows what exactly you do outside your department. Back when we had departments. Anyway, so, yeah, 5 or 6 people for a committee of 4. And one of the people I kind of wasn't... I'm just going to be honest. If she sees this, you're a Scorpio. And we've occasionally been butting heads in the last year. Most of the time you have my back, but I wasn't sure, so I was kind of like, maybe not her. But anyway. So people applied, and instead of like kicking it back to the actual rest of the faculty and going, okay, there can only be 4 people, let's just pick. The faculty chair was like, okay, let's pick and just write back the people we picked. And of course, the persons who didn't get picked are upset about it, and we're like, you didn't follow procedure, so the committee is like totally invalid, including the part where they... So I read through the emails yesterday, and I'm like, including the part where they were like, you met the quantitative requirements, which I had a hard enough time getting them to form a committee. My coworkers, and they're good coworkers, but this, I'm just like, please don't fail me, guys. I had a hard enough time getting them to form a committee by like Thanksgiving to just send me the base letter, which was like, you have met the, you know, number of years served and degrees held and, you know, that sort of thing. And I was like, can you send this to me by the date in the contract for our union? Because I don't want some technical snafu to cost me yet another year on waiting for promotion. Because yes, I am still sore about the fact that I had to wait an extra year because our contract got changed. And yeah, everyone in my union always makes I'm like the one person who is, well, maybe not one person, about 6 to 12 of us who were like, auto promotion is not necessarily a good idea, because they're like, we need auto promotion upon tenure to stay competitive. And I'm like, can we just restore the language that says like librarians, counselors, and other people with 12-month non-teaching appointments do what they want? Because our policy was a lot stricter, and I think ours should be stricter, and yeah. So anyway, made me very unpopular. About the only people that appreciated me pointing this out were the people that were in the tenure pipeline at the time, because it's like, yeah, no, you have to jump through a big hoop still, and the people hired after you will just get auto-promoted. So yeah, isn't that great? You're screwing people in the pipeline. Anyway, I ended up in a big union fight at, like, the board meeting, because, yeah, somebody called me and I was like, well, you're just saying stick it to the new guy. And I'm like, standards? Like, that's why we still have master's degrees in our profession. So anyway, 6 people volunteered, and they did get me the letter, but apparently this whole thing has now come to a kerfuffle in like the last week, when the actual like important letter, the one that says, yeah, we actually looked at her portfolio and determined she's like done stuff worthy of getting her up a rank. That part, of course, we leaving to the last minute and involving a whole bunch of back and forth, and stuff. And that wouldn't be so bad. Like, I'm kind of glad they didn't tell me about what was going on until like the last possible second, like on Monday, because I'm like, I kind of knew the sausage was gonna have a hard time getting made, and I'm just like, just don't tell me. Take me off of this email thread, please, because I don't want to stress out even more. So I know I'm just seeing the tip of whatever weird iceberg's been going down. But yeah, so they've declared that one invalid, and I guess they're going to convene another one with people that they all agreed on, and they're going to hopefully push this through real quick, but it looks like they have to like redo the quantitative part. It's the counting of the years and stuff, and then they have to quickly do the qualitative section. I'm just banging my head on the ground because I'm like, this could have just been so much easier if you... We're not the best at communicating. Or, you know, also just looking at a thing and being like, okay, so out of all the people that volunteered, we can like drop the untenured person. Yes, it's good for the untenured people to see how promotion processes work, but it's not as key this time because she's going to be auto-promoted anyway. So like, you could drop her, and then that leaves you maybe 4 people, possibly 5, if you guys want to arm wrestle over it. And I almost got to that point of like writing back on the email. I'm like, how about you just rock, paper, scissors at this point? Like, I'm trying to have faith in my elders, so I have been not replying. Just been kind of like, well, like, please don't screw this up. And the other thing that I am like irked about the situation is one of the people that was feeling excluded, like, basically claimed that like a proper promotion committee had been convened, and like, what do I do about this? So they started contacting the union reps, and then they wrote our dean's boss, which is the provost, and like, what do we do if she doesn't get a promotion committee convened in time to actually do the letter that says she's earned it? And of course, our boss's boss, the provost, writes back with like, do whatever you've been doing and consult with your dean. And I'm just like sitting here with my face in my hands when my like other coworkers telling me this. I'm like, it's nothing to do with you, it's nothing to do with your quals, it's nothing to do. And I'm like, I know that, but I also have this wonderful name that is super distinctive, and I really don't need it brought up in not great terms of any kind to our boss's boss, because our boss admittedly is overworked and handling like 3 departments. And it just makes us all look like a bunch of poodle heads, and I'm just like, why? Why can't one of the people who was interested in reviewing me just look at this and be like, you know what, you know, it sounds like the 2 people who were really upset would vote me up anyway, so can't you just chill out? Like, because at the close of one of the emails, it's like, we should probably review this whole thing after like we get the candidate through. And I'm like, yeah, could you get the candidate through and then mung about with whatever process failure happened here, which I don't think it did, although it kind of did. Because like midway through, they were consulting me with like weird stuff where they're like, you get to pick your promotion chair, committee chair, and I'm like, I don't think so, that's not how it worked last time. That's how tenure works. But I just like rattled off a name anyway, and then they come back and they're like, yeah, we're not supposed to be doing it that way. Anyway, I'm almost home, so thank you all for listening to that, and I get to tell my husband the exciting news that apparently there's people that run around our area and carry guns and like to just shoot coyotes, which wouldn't be a problem, except apparently they're pulling up on our front lawn on our lake and shooting off into the distance and then whipping out. But we didn't see them because Dan stays in the back of the house most of the day, which I don't blame him, that's where the computer is. But our neighbor saw them and she was like, what's up with that? And now I actually have something I can tell Dan about. Like, apparently there are these guys that hunt coyotes, and feel free to report them. Says our township supervisor is like, yeah, they're real winners. Anyway, thank you for listening, Internet, and I'll talk to you later.